Alright guys, we're about to cut a bunch of HDPE for the first time in automatic mode on this machine, so let's see what happens. Alright, so these should be about 2 3/4 inches a piece. I've got the first one set. Turn this on auto. Let's see what happens. Still running super slow on the same blade that we used to cut stainless, but I really don't feel like changing that blade out. Not that it's really that hard, it's actually easier to change than a little harder break. But my bandsaw blades are still bound together with zip ties and I don't want to jack with it. So we could probably cut this in like at least 4 times faster, I would say, but I'm lazy. Smells like mustard. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and change the speed of the blade. This is how it's done. Jeremy's going to go ahead and do it. So we're on the absolute slowest speed now because we were cutting stainless before. Don't forget the, yeah. So that basically will allow the motor to come up. Oh, it's probably already up all the way because we're on the slow still. So, like I said, this motor just comes right up. It might be all the way up. Here, just don't push down. That's tight as fuck. Can't do it up. I think it would work either way. I'll put it off the side. Alright, so alright, so it looks like since we're on this, I think because we're on the smallest belt that this has been pushed all the way, you know, up. So it's a little tight to get off, I guess. Let's see here. Roll it. Oh, I'm rolling it. Okay. So belt off of that. Belt off of this. There we go. Good? Yeah, I like it right here. So undo it and then there you go. So apparently we were already pushed out as far as we could be, which it's a little tight getting the belt off that way, but it works. Okay, so that's changing the belt on the HA 250. Is it 250?
Yeah, 250.
So anyway, we're going back to cutting. I'll get some video of that too. Hold on. Okay, since we're cutting just this plastic, we've got it turned up as far as it'll go. We don't have a super big tooth blade on it though, but it should do all right. Auto, down, traction. Alright, here we go. see it piling up, dude. You can see it, actually see it piling. Like the pile growing. It's like a snow cone machine.
45 seconds.
How many?
45 seconds.
Alright, so it looks like on this fastest speed we're doing about 45 seconds for, what's that, a 3.5 inch piece? Like I said, that's top speed for this machine.
That's ridiculous, dude.
A couple of those on video. Look at it, you watch it, you can actually watch it piling up. Yeah, it's great, that snow cone. When you like slide it over to this side, you let it like rain.
Yeah, we'll do that.
He wasn't joking about that being an important tool, man. Look how fast those chips are building up. Pretty crazy. Any more stuff?
Yeah.
Alright, so while this is running, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the controls a little bit and how it all works. Alright, so to the left you've got, the top left you've got a indicator. I'll show you that closer in a minute. Basically it's got 5 digits that you can click up to 9, the number 9 basically across all of them, so 99,000 cuts I think it'll be, that you can program it to run. The little box on the right, go ahead, the little box on the right of that tells it how many times to push forward. So currently I have it set to push forward once and push forward 2 3/4 of an inch. So if I needed, I believe there's like a 12 inch or something, there's some limit on how far it'll push forward. So if you needed something that was 2 foot long and say the limit's 1 foot, you could set your cut to 1 foot and then tell it to push twice, or if you needed 3 foot, to push 3 times. So there's a little number there. The big red button there looks like an E-stop, raises the blade up. The button below it drops the blade. The button to the left of the red button is a automatic or manual mode. The green light below is basically the start button. It lights up when it starts. The 2 buttons to the right rotate and push in. One basically, the top one, if you click it to the left and push it in, it closes the front jaw. If you flip it to the right and push it in, it opens the front jaw and closes the back jaw. The button below that is also rotational. If you switch it to the left, it'll bring, and you push the button, it'll bring the part that'll pull the stock towards you. The other way will, hit the stop button. Red one, that one, yeah. And it'll push or pull the stock with that other button. Over here is a basically tells how fast you want the down speed of the machine to be. You can go ahead, don't worry about it. You can get in there. So that's currently maxed. I don't really understand the chart. I'll have to look a little more into that, but there's a little chart that's supposed to explain to you what all of that means, but I've got it enough to cut the things I know I need to cut. So I'm probably going to have to stop the video to record some of this other stuff just because it's harder to get to and I'll be dragging the camera all over the place. But we've already cut all the parts we needed for this job, so I'll come back and actually show you a little more on the bandsaw here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to run through setting up some automated cuts here. This dial here rotates these numbers here. I need to cut 2 3/4, so I'm at 1 and basically 3/4 now. Okay. I hope you can see that it reached 2.75 now. Alright, the next step is, I think you're supposed to lock this guy down. I haven't been doing it because it doesn't feel like it's going to move on its own. But I guess if it was super accurate, you would lock that in if you had to cut a bunch. Not sure. Alright, next we're going to move up to the dial. Okay, not sure if you can see it, but there's a 4 on the dial here. I'm going to go ahead and you have to hold the black button here. Get that in frame real quick. Okay, there's a little black button here. You have to hold that to make changes. You'll see the right number changing, I hope. Right here. You rotate that through to set how many you want. So we're going to set 4 parts because that's how many I want. Okay, this confused me in the beginning. This is I thought it was off and on for this counter. It's actually this side controls this side is this one without a counter. Alright, so we have 4 on the dial. It's on the left hand side for this. Back out here a little bit. This is manual or automatic mode. We're going to go ahead and switch it to automatic. And this has to be over here with the front jaw closed. Trying to think. I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and this might have to be that way too. I don't think so. But anyway, we're going to. So next thing, all we should have to do is hit cycle start. And so I had to put, so the first piece, you have to stick the stock out. You have to measure the first piece. There's no way for it to know where the blade is, but alright, here we go. Okay, as you can see, it clearly screwed up my first piece there. Still getting used to the machine. I think I needed to have the back jaws all the way back in order for that to work. Because it looks like it pulled back. So I'm going to waste a little bit of stock here. And my count's going to be off, great. So I just changed the counter to 5 so that because of that mess up there. We're cutting to the right length now. cool thing to notice up here is that the big number counted up and the little number counted down. So this is how many is cut, and that's how many are left. It's about to cut through this one here. Like I said, I bumped it up to 5 a minute ago. Went off screen, but you'll see it come back here in a second. So now the dial reads 2 and 3, meaning it's cut 2 and it's got 3 more to go. So it's still got this piece and another piece to cut, so 3 up and 2 left. I removed the piece that I messed up on in the beginning. Alright, this should be our last cut here. Alright, that's it. The 4 pieces that I needed, plus the 1 little extra for my screw up. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about the bandsaw here. First, the age of this thing, I believe it's around 38 years old. And it still runs really well. It's very well built, pretty simple design as far as not requiring a bunch of electronics. The only thing that's really in this, as you can see here, are our relays and a couple of little timers and power management stuff. Not a whole lot. There's really no like computer type electronics on here, just sensors, motors and such. I'm not sure about the parts on here. I mean, I know the motor can be replaced with just pretty much any motor. The pump was already replaced. But if you look at the box here, you can see that it's very well laid out. It's very clean. Everything looks good. I bought this saw used from Wes Johnson. He has a channel. I'll link to it in here. I bought this saw from him. I seen it on a YouTube video of his. It is after seeing the electronic layout and how well that was maintained, I decided, yeah, that was definitely I wanted to buy from this guy. I have nothing but good things to say. If he has any other equipment for sale that I need, I'll definitely try to make a deal with him. So anyway, this machine was very well maintained by him. I'm sure he bought it used, but I believe he fixes machinery from what I understand off of his channel. So anyway, here's the electronic boxes, just so you can get an idea of that. Trying to think of what else you might want in this video. I wanted to get this last cut because I believe the machine is going to shut itself off. So there's nothing, the back jaws are not holding anything currently. It's already pushed the material up past the back jaws, so So I think that's there's some sort of sensor in there that will that it knows if it's got any more material left. So let's see if it stops after this piece. Yep, I guess it detected there was no more stock in there and stopped, so that appears to be working.